Jack Smith's DOJ, Biden White House, and NARA were in direct communication when the requested documents in question were asked to be released. And they, the DOJ and the White House counsel, responded essentially, give them the Heisman.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Life comes at you fast. You think you're going to put your political opponent in jail for the rest of his life? 480 years in prison is what Donald Trump was facing in 5 different criminal cases. They even were able to get a conviction out of one of them. And then, well, Donald Trump becomes president again. Oh my. Well, this is going to be bad. Now, Donald Trump is seeing every single charge, including the charges from special counsel Jack Smith, dropped today. Today. We literally stopped President Trump from going to prison by voting for him, by putting the first president with a mugshot back into office to make sure that this never happens to anybody ever again. As much as I'd love retribution here, I think it's horrible for the country, and I love this country more than I hate some of the people in it, even the Marxists who have tried to destroy this sweet place. Special counsel Jack Smith has filed a motion to dismiss all federal charges against Donald Trump. This is the end. Oh, yeah. Or is it just the beginning, actually? Statement from Trump on another legal victory. The American people reelected Donald Trump with an overwhelming mandate to make America great again. Today's decision by the DOJ to end unconstitutional federal cases against President Trump is a majority victory of the rule of law. The American people and President Trump want immediate end to political weaponization of our justice system. We look forward to uniting the country. Well, good. How would you unite the country exactly? That's a good question. How do you take this moment? Borders have been open. ISIS is literally here. Criminal gangs taking over our cities. They're trying to lock up former presidents and their political enemies. How exactly do you unite the country? Ladies and gentlemen, in order to pay the toll, you've got to have the cash. It seems like there's going to be a major change at the Department of Justice, Main Justice, and also at the FBI, which acts as the Justice Department's muscle. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently, according to our sources, and, well, sources that are speaking to Axios, Kash Patel is about to become the FBI director. Man, we've been looking forward to this. Oh, this is so awesome. Scoop, likely Trump will be tapping Kash Patel as FBI or DOJ post. President-elect Donald Trump is expected to appoint ultra-loyalist Kash Patel to a high-profile position at either the FBI or Justice Department, top transition sources tell Axios. Patel would be a deeply controversial pick for any leadership role. Why? Especially as FBI director, given the hurdles Patel might face winning Senate confirmation. But that doesn't make any sense because Kash Patel has worked as a federal prosecutor for decades, worked in the House, worked in the Senate, worked at DOD, worked at the FBI, worked at Justice Department. Why would this be even remotely controversial? Trump is considering naming him to deputy director, appointed to investigative work within the DOJ, sources said. A final decision hasn't been made. Trump still could change his mind, including by elevating Patel all the way to FBI director, a move that would send Gates-like shockwaves through Washington, D.C. Kash has a lot of allies who think placing him at the top role would be well received by Trump base and send a clear message that Trump is serious about major reforms at justice and law enforcement agencies, source told Axios. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is also being considered for FBI director as Trump chose Pam Bondi to lead the Justice Department, but a consensus pick has not emerged. Pam Bondi, we're huge fans of, by the way. President-elect Trump has made a brilliant decision on who will serve in the second administration at the lightning pace. Remaining decisions will continue to be announced by him when they are made, says Trump transition spokesperson. Trump has signaled that he will fire current FBI Director Christopher Wray, who's nominated in 2017 to serve the 10-year term after ousting James Comey. Why does it take 10 years? I don't get that. I don't understand 10 years. But anyway, he served like most of that, which is more than he ever deserved. Trump has viewed the FBI with deep distrust, dating back to the Bureau's 2016 probe into the campaign alleged ties with Russia, which later turned into the Mueller investigation. It's like amazing. Axios owner is Jim Vandehei bitching about how nobody trusts the media, yet they don't add any context here. Why does Trump not trust the FBI? Well, the FBI raided his effing house. How about that? Let's start there. The FBI knew that Hunter Biden's laptop was real and didn't say anything. The FBI knew about the origins of COVID, didn't say anything. The FBI knew that Hillary Clinton had planted the Russian dossier and paid for it. They didn't say anything. The FBI raided and have locked up his supporters, Christians, for worshiping Christ, anti-abortion protester grannies for simply protesting. The FBI is an evil institution. They don't mention any of this in here. I wonder why people don't trust the FBI. Trump sees the FBI and the Justice Department at the heart of the so-called deep state, a cabal of bureaucrats that Trump believes sabotaged his first presidency. Oh, they believes it, huh? Oh, wow. You wonder why people don't trust the media. Patel rose to prominence, waging war against the Russia investigations. Aid to former... It's amazing. The Russia investigation. They don't say thoroughly discredited Russia PP dossier paid for by Hillary Clinton. They don't say any of that. No. They just call it the Russia investigation. Patel served as Trump's national security and later chief of staff to the Department of Defense before publishing a book. Patel has openly discussed retaliation against Trump's political enemies. As he wrote in his book, the FBI has become thoroughly compromised and will remain a threat to people with drastic measures. No part of the FBI's mission is safe with Kash Patel in any position of leadership, says former FBI Director Andrew McCabe. See, it doesn't say that Andrew McCabe is thoroughly disgraced and fired from his job because he is part of a cabal of people that said they would prevent Donald Trump from becoming elected president. They don't say anything about that. See how broken it all is? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very good thing. And we are really, really excited about it. Donald Trump has completely dismissed that Mike Rogers would be among the finalists for FBI director before MAGA influencers intervened to kill the possible nomination. MAGA influencers intervened. Huh? Got it. You mean like a bunch of us surfacing clips where Mike Rogers was literally advocating for spying on Americans? Okay, got it. Donald Trump is expected to appoint Kash Patel as FBI director. Kash has a lot of allies who think placing him at the top role will be well received. Oh yeah, baby. Okay. Very, very good. Kash Patel, I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one. Ooh, we'd love to hear it. I think Kash Patel will make a great FBI director. FBI, cash only. That's right. We published our rock-solid case for Kash Patel. It's got millions of views, 15,000 likes, and nearly 5,000 reposts. Let's just go through the top lines here. Kash has served in the American intelligence and military community at the highest levels. He's a hammer of justice against corruption, and he's done that work by uncovering the DOJ's illegal surveillance against Donald Trump during the Russiagate hoax. Kash fought for Trump when others ran. Like, it was really hard to book out the show during some of these seasons. Kash was one of the few people that would actually come onto our show and defend Donald Trump. Many Republicans abandoned Trump in the period of withering, relentless attacks. Kash stood strong. Kash's career will be a perfect roadmap for bringing the FBI back into its role, which is to solve crimes, solve federal crimes that cross state lines, right? This is the point of the FBI. He was Chief of Staff, DOD, Deputy Director of National Intelligence, Counterterrorism Leadership at the National Security Council, DOJ National Security Prosecutor, working with SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force. Guys, Kash is the man. He's the right man for it. Everybody is now beginning to bang the drums. Kash Patel for FBI. We've been talking with many people on Trump's transition team, including Alita Hava, about this selection, about how perfect it would be. We've even spoken with Kash Patel about how perfect it would be. Kash Patel is a friend of the program. He's come on this show many, many times, and he is beloved by our audience. We full-throatedly endorse and put our total muscle behind Kash Patel as FBI director. We think it'd be an amazing message to Washington, D.C. It's amazing how nobody... So the only argument against Kash Patel is from Andrew McCabe? That's it? You have to find some totally disgraced, discredited guy who was fired and criminally charged, fired and fined and should be criminally charged for helping rig an election against a sitting president? That's the biggest person and amazing how nowhere in the actual article they talk about why Kash shouldn't have this role. No, Kash should have this role. Kash explained to our program what he would do as FBI director in a leading role in the intelligence community. Declassification, nobody's safe on the Epstein or Diddy list. Here we go. Now, as somebody who's obviously held some of the highest rankings inside the Pentagon, and you've handled thousands, if not tens of thousands of classified papers, how would the president is the person who has the right to classify or declassify? You've been on this program talking about this extensively. And so ultimately, it really does lie with President Trump and those around him who are advising him as to what we can learn and when. Yes?
Yeah. So the president is the final arbiter and ultimate arbiter, I should say, of classification. There's a couple of other people that can do it, like the director of national intelligence and maybe one or two other folks who have that power vested to them either by the president or statute. But yes, at the end of the day, the president can be like, I want all that out the door. And it goes out the door. And you can sort of fold it into Elon Musk's Department of Government, the Doge project, whatever he calls it. And
Doge.
say, Doge. And say, look, you want government efficiency. Well, then let's expose the inefficiencies of government for the American people to see. Like, how do we lose, not spend and waste? How do we lose multiple billions of dollars in the Ukraine? We lost it. It didn't light on fire. We physically can't find the money. That's unacceptable. That's just one example. And then when we go back to DOJ and FBI, we still don't have all the list, all the FISAs, all of the stuff they did to 275,000 Americans illegally in 1 year. Put that out there. I'm not saying put in the recipe on how to do it. We can keep the hood on the engine, but we can show the American people how they violated our rights. And to me, what you said is the most important: restoring trust in our agencies and departments. That the way to do that is not to get a piñata and just punch them mercilessly and hoping for some bubble gum to pop out. The way to do that is to literally give the American people the truth. And that's what they feared about Donald Trump. He's going to come in there and maybe give him the Epstein list and maybe give him the P. Diddy list. He's going to come up there and maybe do all these things, and they are terrified.
Yeah, I believe that's part of the reason why Jimmy Kimmel was crying last night on his program. But also, I believe that this is something that the American public desperately want. And most importantly, this is how you restore honor and how you restore trust. Now, many may not know, some will, that you are personally responsible for the research on the Russiagate collusion. Everything we know about Russiagate, and we know maybe like less than half of what really happened with Russiagate, Kash Patel is the one who found it out with Devin Nunes. So, Kash, you have an excellent pedigree in rooting out the truth. Will we get the full Diddy list? Will we get Epstein? Will we get JFK? Will we get the rest of what happened with Russia collusion?
That's what I want. That's what I want as me as an American citizen. That's what I want in terms of achieving that restoration of respect for government in DC that's been gone for like 50, 60 years, right? I had said on the campaign trail when I was on the Team Trump bus tour or surrogate somewhere, I said, America has a chance to retire the dynastic families that have rained down corruption in Washington, D.C. on November 5th. You could have retired the Bushes, the Cheneys, the Clintons, and the Obamas. And you know what, Benny? For the first time, I get to say they did. And part of that mandate that they delivered to Donald Trump is simply they want the truth.
Yes.
And I don't know why it has been, well, I do know why, but I believe and hope President Trump is going to go in there and just be a vehicle, a conveyor belt for the truth, and just put it out nonstop. Yes. Agriculture department, education, labor, all of it, everywhere. And Congress is going to play such a critical role in these oversight investigations. Just think of what you can accomplish if you have a director or a secretary who actually works with the Republican chairman or chairwoman on oversight. It's incredible, not just for corruption revelation purposes, but to see how we actually budget and stop lighting your money on fire.